to Unleashed Opinion, boldly challenging the powers that be while keeping liberals in their place with conservative ideals and common sense solutions.
Hello, folks. Welcome to the Unleashed Opinion. We're back once again.
Hello.
Yep.
Hello.
Deacon's here.
Steve's here. John's here.
We're all here.
We're all together
Yeah.
again. Oh, never mind. Go ahead.
Sometimes
Sorry,
I
man.
really wonder.
You know,
I really wonder. Hey, big thank you out to men and women. in the
maybe I
armed
need a
services.
lobotomy.
Need one? I thought. Yeah.
Go ahead with your spiel here.
Yeah. Thank you to our men and women in the armed services. I'll try that again. Thanks to John for putting everything together for us. All this fantastic equipment that I have no idea what he does with it. But
Putting up with us.
yeah, there's a big one. Our listeners out there, you guys are awesome, giving us things to talk about, giving us some text messages and talking to us on the street. It helps out a bunch. You guys out in the garage in 125, you're great. Okay, our law enforcement, first responders.
We kind of like them too.
Yeah, we
As
do.
a matter of fact, I have posted a thing on our page about firefighters and the things they do. It's a several-minute clip, but if you want to see some of the stuff that our firefighters do, just go ahead and watch that clip because what they do is amazing. I mean, they put their lives on the line to help save people. So don't shoot at them, you morons. Yeah, thanks to our law enforcement, first responders, and everybody like that. All you guys over at the Western Illinois Correctional Center, everybody in the prison system, hey, we got your backs here. We know what goes on in those prisons, and we're here for you. And thank you for keeping the public safe.
You betcha. You betcha. We greatly appreciate it. And although some people don't quite understand all that,
No, they just think they're
keeping-
high-priced babysitters, and I mean,
I've got news.
sometimes. What do you got?
well, I've got news about that. We're going to hit that article here in a little bit.
Steve has news.
I've got news.
Wow.
Well, we're going
Can
to
you read?
Yeah, I can, but this isn't it. We're going to
Okay.
get to the video here shortly.
Okay.
But anyway, go ahead. with
No.
what you're-
Go ahead. I'm done.
Shoo.
I'm tired.
I
I've
get-
talked way too much today.
Yeah. Okay. For something positive, we've got, and this is in Springfield, Illinois. Dr. Noy was wearing his U.S. Army fatigues Friday. This is last Friday when he raised his right hand and recited the oath of citizenship during a ceremony at the old state capitol. Noy is 32-year-old surgeon at HSHS St. John's Hospital. He serves in the Army Reserves. He came to the United States from Indonesia as a student 11 years ago and was one of 73 new citizens from 32 different countries who were sworn in during Friday's ceremony.
Sweet.
Okay, so these guys did it properly. Very happy about that.
Absolutely.
He says, they always say this is the land of opportunity, the land where dreams come true. He says, today my dreams came true. I'm looking forward to being a citizen and exercising all my rights and responsibilities as a citizen. The U.S. District Court Central District of Illinois holds naturalization events 3 times a year. This is done by Judge Sue Myerscough. Most new citizens, and this part I did not know, it says most new citizens go through a 5-year period of permanent residence before they're eligible for apply for naturalization. They then go through an interview process preceded by background checks, fingerprints, and interviews to assess the ability to read, speak, write, and understand English.
Sweet.
They also are tested on their knowledge of the U.S. history and the government, which we got some people that are U.S. citizens that aren't very good at that either.
Well, there's no doubt about that.
Noy said there is also an expedited process for people in the military. Noy said he wanted to become a U.S. citizen because he loves the values of the United States. So that's outstanding. He did it the right way. These other people that are with him.
See, it's people like this who want to come here that make people like you and I happy.
Right, right.
Because you want to come to this country, or you go to any country, you should integrate into that society. If you want to stay in that country for any length of time or for life, you need to integrate into that country, and that's what this guy here is doing. And I want to thank this guy over there at St. John's and nurses and doctors alike. One of my buddies, as you know, just had a 5 bypass surgery over there
Yep.
at St. John's, and here in just a couple of days he'll be coming home, and what they can do for things like that is just truly amazing. So that's fantastic.
That is a very good deal.
My hat's off to this guy right here.
You betcha. They did it the right way, and we appreciate it.
Absolutely. I think we got another feel good here. We didn't do this the first show, did we, on the bus?
No, we
The
haven't.
bus high? Okay. Darian Clay is a 21-year-old kid who was on a bus, I believe, down in Missouri. A thug on the bus got up with a knife, and he thought that this guy was going to attack a lady and her kids, and took matters into his own hands to protect them. So let's check out this clip here. It's pretty wild. Watch this. Watch this. Boom.
Bam. Wow.
So dude's got a knife, and he does stab this kid in the chest somewhere, but he's okay.
Apparently, he didn't want no more of it.
Apparently not.
Wow,
So,
that's
you got a good Samaritan ride. 21-year-old kid took it upon himself to help this lady and her kid out.
to deal with this clown.
Absolutely. So our hats off to this man. Darren Clay is his name, 21 years old. Fantastic.
That is super. That is super. And, I hope there's a lot of people out there like him.
Well, I'm telling you what, it's getting pretty scary out there these days. So, people, you got to stand up and fight.
Well, yeah, and we just seen that when in Alexandria, Virginia, and there's another incident in San Francisco, I think was.
Yeah, at a UPS place.
Yeah. So yeah, and here's something else. This 2 Georgia inmates escaped from a transfer bus. We was talking about corrections. These 2 guys, there was 33 people on the bus, I believe, and these 2 clowns decided they wanted to not stay on the bus. So apparently they're being transferred from one prison to another, and they got the weapons away from the officers on the bus and shot and killed both of them. So they are still on the loose, to the best of my knowledge. One of them's name is Donnie Rowe, who's serving life without parole for 2 counts of aggravated assault, 2 counts of armed robbery, possession of a firearm during a crime, and now he's murdered these corrections officers. And he's from Tennessee and is a known sociopath.
Nice.
Yeah. This guy's 43 years old, 6'1", 181 pounds. This Ricky DeBose, who's serving time for aggravated assault, armed robbery, burglary, 4 counts of unlawfully entering vehicles, 2 counts of identity theft, 2 counts of fraudulent credit card usage, robbery, theft, 4 counts of credit card theft, criminal trespass, eluding police, obstruction, and more. And he's from Comer, Georgia. And he's 24 years old, 6'1", 140 pounds. So these 2 clowns are on the loose, and if you've seen pictures of them on the news, you can tell right off they're outstanding people.
Yeah. They have nothing to lose. So if you see them, unless they're trying to do something to you, stay away, call 911, call your local authorities or whatever. There's just another incident here that, it's just not all peaches and cream for correctional officers.
No, it's not. We got a little video clip of I believe it's the sheriff of the county or one of the corrections officials. I'm not sure.
All right, then.
Desperate manhunt going nationwide tonight. 2 inmates in Georgia overpowering their guards on a prison bus, killing them using the officers' own weapons. The inmates then getting away in a stolen vehicle they carjacked. Officials now warning they are armed and dangerous. And here's ABC's Steve Osunsami.
Georgia authorities tonight tell us that the inmates who got away after murdering 2 prison guards are out running around with .40 caliber Glocks and could kill again.
They need to surrender before we find them. I saw 2 brutally murdered corrections officers. That's what I saw. I have their blood on my shoes.
Putnam County Police are desperately searching for these 2 fugitives, 43-year-old Donnie Rowe and 24-year-old Ricky DuBose. Both are career criminals who are serving hard time, and police say one of them is a member of the Ghost-Faced Gangsters, a white supremacist prison gang.
There's a deputy on the scene. I'm assuming that the shooters have escaped.
The bus ride from where they escaped early this morning was unscheduled and was moving 33 inmates from one prison to another. Police say the 2 men broke through a locked barrier and back and attacked prison transfer sergeants Christopher Monica and Curtis Ballou. Both leave behind devastated families tonight. They were killed with one of their own guns.
Be advised, they carjacked a white male in a gray Honda automobile.
Police here are determined to find this green Honda that they were last seen in. Late this afternoon, they believe they broke into a home north of here and changed clothes. David?
Steve Osunsami with us. Steve, thank you.
Okay, so go ahead.
It is a completely sad tragedy here. I'm just miffed Okay, it was an unscheduled bus run.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand why these guys are on the bus with weapons.
Well, apparently their procedures are a little bit different than ours because you and I have both been on these transfer buses several times.
All of our guns are in a chase vehicle that follows behind the bus. We have shotguns, we have pistols, pepper spray, and all that stuff. It's in the van behind, so they cannot get on our bus in Illinois. And, I mean, they could take a hostage if they could get somebody, but there's no weapons on our buses. So Georgia needs to
Rethink
things a little bit.
But, that's too bad. I mean, a lot of people, like you said earlier, think that corrections officers are nothing but glorified babysitters. Well, these two babysitters just lost their lives. So,
absolutely.
and not to mention the fact they're keeping these clowns in this penitentiary so they're not in your neighborhood.
Yeah, absolutely. We've been in some hairy situations ourselves over our 27-year career, so we absolutely know what's going on. And people out there in the public start thanking these people who work in corrections because they do a heck of a job.
Yep. Okay, now we've got what do we got? You got an article there you want to hit?
No, go right ahead, buddy.
All right.
Oh boy, that didn't sound good.
The 4th of July celebration has been canceled after the founder said she was upset by the election of Donald Trump. The July 4th Flotilla, an annual waterborne celebration in Bayou St. John neighborhood in New Orleans, is called off this year, said the founder, Katrina Breeze. Breeze said has organized the annual celebration since 2012, but this year she felt she just couldn't put her heart into it. When I think about wearing my flag dress and waving flags, I just don't know what it means this year, she told this news agency. Says the July 4th Flotilla was typically attracted an artsy, creative crowd with funky costumes, homemade banners, boats, and kayaks float down to the Bayou St. John while spectators watch. There's a lot of questions about our government, said Breeze, an artist whose group. Okay, but anyway, where does it say? Oh, but that spirit was dampened by Trump's election in November, she said. So
Come
these
on.
people. The 4th of July, number one, lady, the 4th of July is not about you, okay? It's about the celebration of our country.
Absolutely.
Okay? And it doesn't matter who's president. You can dislike Donald Trump all you want to because you have the freedom to do that, guaranteed by these people who created the 4th of July, the Independence Day of our country.
I don't believe you and I jumped up and, I mean, we didn't care for Mr. Obama when he became president twice, but we didn't stomp our feet and say we weren't going to celebrate the 4th of July or anything like this. I mean, come on.
Yeah, grow up, would
All
you,
right.
lady? Grow up just a little bit. I mean, it's going to be okay. Really, it is.
She must be one of the coddled of our coddled society around
Apparently. It's people like that do not. Okay, I appreciate what you did putting on this flotilla thing. Okay, I think a lot of people enjoyed that, but you know what? If it's all it takes to get you out of the, I don't think you understand what you're talking about. Not celebrating the 4th. What's wrong with you?
Okay, you're not celebrating Donald Trump's presidency. You're celebrating our independence and our ability to have the freedoms that we have, granted to us by our founding fathers, granted to us by God Almighty. Okay, celebrate that. If you don't want to celebrate Trump, don't celebrate Trump. Voice your opinions about him. I don't care. If he does something stupid, I'll say something about it.
And we do. But you're going to cancel this celebration because you don't like the president. Well, it's too flippin' bad.
Well, la-ti-da. All right.
Hey, I've got another one to follow up with this story.
Hit it, Steve.
I've got this video. This gal, she's on Tucker Carlson.
Oh, my goodness. This is going to get ugly, folks.
The New York City chapter Black Lives Matter movement hosted an exclusively black Memorial Day party on Saturday. And of course, this is a while back, called the People's Turn Up, an unapologetic black party. The event's Facebook page boasted that the festivities were only for those who identified as black. Okay, clear your calendar, the invite reads. It's a lituation. You're invited to take part in this unapologetically black festivities. Jeez, I can't say anything. Bring yourself, bring your bae.
How many beers you had?
One. Whatever you like. But she's on, as a commentator, Facebook, the parade's page thread vaguely asked, I'm curious, though, is there a plan on how to deal with those or other things that should occur? One of the event's moderators responded that security would be in place and rules would be enforced. But this gal, her name is Lisa Durden, and she's talking to Tucker, and take a listen to this gal. She's a complete loon.
Nuts.
Pending, this is what they said, being intentional about being around black people is an act of resistance. This is an exclusively black space, so if you do not identify as black and want to come because you love black people, please respect the space and do not come. Lisa Durden is a political commentator and Black Lives Matter supporter. She joins us tonight. Lisa, thanks for coming on.
Thank you. Good to see you again. You're doing well.
Thank you. I was confused by this because I thought the whole point of Black Lives Matter, one of the points would be to speak out against singling people out on the basis of their race and punishing them for that. Because you can't control what your race is, and yet they seem to be doing that. Explain that to me.
What I say to that is boo-hoo-hoo. You white people are angry because you couldn't use your white privilege card to get invited
Lisa.
to the Black Lives Matters All-Black Memorial Day celebration. Wow. Let me contextualize that for you. Memorial Day was created
I don't want you to,
by...
First of all, I don't want you to contextualize.
Right? I need to contextualize it because Memorial Day was created by black former slaves in 1865 to honor those individuals who were Union soldiers who fought and died for our freedom. So Black Lives Matter, in that same vein, decided to get together with black folks.
I'm not going to let you filibuster past my question.
To make sure that black folks were celebrated for being murdered by racist terrorists.
I don't want to shut this down, but I will. Okay. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. I just have a really simple question for you. If you don't like people excluding others on the basis of their race, and as a society we agree that that's bad. I agree it's bad, you agree it's bad. Then why are you doing it? And why are you defending it now?
White folks crack me up all of a sudden when we want to have one day for black folks to focus on ourselves, but you've been having White Day forever. You don't say the word anymore because you know it's politically incorrect. But you've had an all-white Oscars, all these movies with all-white actors, movie after movie after movie, all white TV shows with white casts over and over and over again.
They have BET, don't they?
It took 11 seasons of a black bachelorette. Are you serious?
It's hard to believe. I hope you're not speaking for anyone else. I hope there aren't a lot of people.
Well, my name is Lisa Durden.
But
how you even have the all-black shopping network on QVC?
Oh my God! You know, there's a lot of people that worked very hard to desegregate everything. So now you segregate yourself.
I hope the intelligent black community out there doesn't listen to the rhetoric of this freaking goofball right here.
Oh my God!
Because she and the BLM are just freaking making things worse.
Oh, absolutely. And if you recall, several months ago, we played some clips of Black Lives Matter when they was shoving Bernie Sanders off the stage. And you got this gal. I don't even know what to say about this. She's a complete loon.
Freaking whack job is what she is.
Boy. Wow.
She's drinking the Kool-Aid, Steve. Ooh. Drinking the Kool-Aid.
Man, she's making some Kool-Aid. I tell you, wow, that's pretty bizarre.
Oh, my gosh.
So what you got over there?
Well, getting back on law enforcement and things like that, and crazy freaking people. Here's another reason why we like our law enforcement so much. There's a Border Patrol agent who had been kidnapped and tortured. Doña Ana County, New Mexico. U.S. Customs and Border Protection confirmed a Border Patrol agent was recovered after being badly injured. Reports coming in from various news outlets say that the agent was tortured and horrifically mutilated. June 10th, U.S. Customs and Border Protection released the following statement about the incident. U.S. Customs and Border Protection is assisting in the investigation report of an assault against off-duty Border Patrol agent assigned to the Deming, New Mexico Border Patrol Station. He was discovered on the side of the road by a motorist. Thank the motorist. The agent suffered multiple serious injuries to his head, chest, and hands. EMS transported the agent to a nearby hospital where he was being treated for his wounds. He's in stable condition right now. They're working closely with the FBI, the county sheriff's office, and El Paso Police Department on the ongoing investigation. Has been informed its workforce of this report and reminded its law enforcement personnel to be alert. The area immediately south of the border in El Paso is where the Deming Station is located. It's controlled by the Juarez Cartel and their enforcers. La Línea, according to this individual. This is another reason we support our law enforcement. Crap going on like this. That's another reason I think we really need to start having even more Border Patrol agents, more weaponized Border Patrol agents, to prevent stuff like this from going on. This is crazy. This stuff should not be happening.
Well, we're getting rid of some MS-13 members. That's a good thing. Which I don't know who's responsible for this, but wow.
So let's hope this money from the feds that might withhold from the sanctuary cities can go to help build this wall to keep these freaking freaks out of here, or something. Because this stuff's got to stop right here.
Well, maybe we can take the transportation money from the California sanctuary cities and build that wall and maybe slow this stuff down. How's
Absolutely, that sounds good to me, man. Sounds good to me. What you got?
Well, I've got this. Completely off the subject of what you had there.
Well, that's fine. We kind of get off the subject every now and then.
A lot. Get this. A visiting scholar at the University of Arizona claimed he identifies as a hippopotamus in a recently published article in an academic journal. Yep.
What?
He identifies himself as a hippopotamus.
Some people think I kind of look like a hippopotamus, but I don't identify as one.
Writing in the Journal of Theoretical Humanities, University of Arizona visiting scholar Florentine Felix Moran argued that his hippo alter ego has allowed him to navigate the world free from constraints that govern human bodies.
A hippo alter ego, huh?
Yeah, just when you thought it couldn't get any more strange. This article explores the formation of a traminal hippopotamus alter ego, confronting transgender with trans species. The author claims that his hippopotamus identity allowed him to verbally escape several sets of categorization that govern human bodies, such as gender, sexuality, and age. He starts with an account of how his metaphorical hippo self is collectively produced and performed, distinguishing the subjective, the intersubjective, and the social. I don't even know what I just said there, but the article then investigates the policies of an equating transgender and trans species, critically examining the question of the inclusion of xenogenders in the trans-political movement. Again, I'm not real sure what I just read there, except this guy's a loon.
Maybe we should make him like a centaur or something like that.
In the article, he claims that while he understands he's not actually a hippopotamus, his theoretical exercise of being a trans species or tranimal, provided him comfort as he came to terms with his real-life transgenderism. I do strongly love when my friends call me hippo, referring to my paws, and pretend that they see no difference between me and one of my stuffed hippopotamus, except that I'm a little bigger than most of them. In a surprising, sometimes overwhelming way, I find comfort in this collectively performed animal identity.
Hippopotami.
Okay. I find comfort in this collectively performed animal identity, Moran continues. Let me put it this way. Something about being a hippo makes me feel cute, confident, sexy, and safe. Wow.
Sexy. Hippopotamuses are sexy, huh?
I discovered that another self was available for me. Being a hippo means that I don't have to be a boy or a girl, child or an adult, normal or strange. Well, he's got the strange part down. On the University of Arizona's website, Moran is touted as an exciting addition to the institution's LGBT studies program. Okay, just when you thought it couldn't get any more weird.
Is he a non-binary hippopotamus?
I don't know. I don't even want to know.
Maybe we should feed him a day's worth of fruits and vegetables that a hippopotami might eat every day. And just blow him to completely smithereens because dude needs some Xanax or something.
You know, we should not be surprised at this because I think we've hit upon this before about, you hear every once in a while about somebody leaving a fortune to their pets or something like this. Why wouldn't you be tranimal now or trans species, whatever this guy wants to do?
I don't know what to say.
Why are we surprised when something like this happens?
I always thought I needed therapy.
Oh,
But this guy needs some serious there. Maybe we can channel Rose Cox to him if she's still alive. You remember Rose?
No.
Well, she was our first ever psychologist over there.
Oh, I did hear about her. I knew the name.
Yeah.
But identifies as a hippopotamus. And you know what? I was watching, it was actually Channel 20 News, ABC, the other night, and they was talking about LBGTQ people. And I thought, I know what the other letters are for, but I didn't know what Q was for. And then, so I got on my super smartphone and looked it up. It's questioning. They don't know. They don't know what they are. You got two choices. Hippopotamus ain't one of them. So,
well,
with
the
that,
H is going to have to go on there now.
Apparently, I mean, why would we be surprised with this hippopotamus tranimal trans-species thing with all this other stuff? Why are we surprised at this?
We're going to have to add more letters to the alphabet because this is never going to stop.
Oh my God! Well, I'm very confused.
Like I've always said, let's just join the bunch and identify as millionaires, and the bank surely has to give us our money.
Sure. I'll see how that works for us.
I'll walk into the bank and, hey, I'm identifying as a millionaire today. Can I have my money, please?
Mm-hmm. Let me cash this.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
Good God. And here again, why are we surprised when something like this comes out? You identify yourself as a hippopotamus. And let me read this again because I know you got a big kick out of this. Something about being a hippo makes me feel cute, confident, sexy, and safe. Wow. Shoot, like you said, I thought you had problems. You thought you had.
Wow.
You're all right.
I don't know sometimes.
Shoot. Wow. What else you got over there?
I really don't have a thing. Other than up in Michigan, there's a Michigan mosque up there that is being accused of paying doctors to perform female genital mutilations. Apparently, they've done over 100 up there, and all the doctors have been arrested are members of the Dawood Bohra sect of Islam. Go figure.
Why should we be surprised? I mean,
since this is what, listen up, all you LGBTQ hippopotamuses out there, and all the liberal lovers out there of refugees and things like that. This is the kind of thing that they do over there. This is what Islam is. If you don't believe it, look it up. They don't believe women should have pleasure. That's why they do the genital mutilation. Go to a website called Act for America and read up on this lady who started this website. She is of Lebanese descent. And, her family was kidnapped or had to live under Islamic law where they were at, and she will tell you all about it. She will tell you all about female genital mutilation, and it's not very nice. So if you believe in women's rights, you need to stop the Islamization of America because this crap is going to continue to happen. The more they have here, the worse it's going to get.
Sure.
And I'm done.
Well, a little article here about Austria has passed a controversial law that fines women who wear Islamic dress coverings over their whole face and takes away welfare benefits from immigrants who fail to learn the language. Well, those who are not prepared to accept Enlightenment values will have to leave our country and society, read the text of the law. Earlier this year, the draft law drew thousands of protesters against the government and parliamentarians, but it was passed by a centrist coalition last month and now was signed by the president. According to the law, women will face a fine of $168 if they wear Islamic dresses, either the burqa or the hijab in public places. In addition to the fines, all new immigrants coming to Austria will now be forced to take a 12-month integration course. That includes German language lessons if they wish to receive any welfare benefits. So
there you go.
Yeah. So let's see. It goes on to say that at least 90,000 migrants, mostly from Muslim majority countries outside of Europe, have arrived to Austria since 2015.
Nice.
So, we talked earlier about these people being sworn in the other day, learning all this stuff, the English language and such. And Austria's, they got them learning their ways also. So.
As they should.
Yeah.
As they should.
So, taking care of those borders.
There is one. I don't know if we had the video on this or not. Posted an article of a Muslim American woman who said that she feels that Muslims should have safe spaces.
We do have the video.
To
practice what they preach.
Practice what they preach. Sharia law.
Aha, boy.
To practice their Sharia law and not be infringed upon.
Yeah, we do have that video too, don't we? Yeah, let's take a look at that thing and see what she's got to say.
Well, some recent high-profile events in Europe indicate, and some have said this, that Islam in some of its forms could be hazardous to people's health.
You're kidding.
But in Australia, it is Muslims who are declaring they're the ones who need safe spaces. A group called the Islamic Council of Victoria, which says it represents 200,000 Muslims in Australia, is calling on the government there to fund a series of safe spaces where they say Muslims can safely express, this is a quote, inflammatory views that would cause trouble if voiced publicly. This is part of the de-radicalization process. Blair Amani is the executive director of Equality for Her. She's an American Muslim. She said safe spaces would be a good idea here. Blair Amani joins us tonight. So, Blair, what exactly would a safe space for Muslims look like? What does that mean exactly?
Well, first, I think we need to start by understanding that everybody kind of misunderstands what a safe space means. And so for me today, I'm talking about safe spaces being somewhere where you can be who you are without fear of being surveilled, having violence committed against you, or being harassed. And I think it's a good idea to have everywhere. America was built on the idea that we could express our religious freedoms, that we can have free speech. I know that's something that you very much believe in.
Yes.
And I think it's, you know, a necessary thing. And we're talking about safe spaces for Muslims. We need to recognize that we've been surveilled for a very long time. I converted to Islam 2 years ago. But for folks who have been Muslim and living in America, it's a crisis for them because, you know, you're being surveilled, you're being watched, and children are being affected.
We got to stop you there. Why do you think law enforcement agencies would put Muslims under surveillance?
Jeez, I don't know.
Well, obviously because of the, you know, the counterterrorism efforts. But when
why would there be counterterrorism efforts aimed at Muslims?
Come on, Tucker, you're a smart guy. You know why that is.
I'm a man who asks questions, and I'm asking a question about the statement you just made. What's the answer?
Absolutely. Well, there are, you know, acts of terror committed in the name of Allah that do not, you know, reflect the Muslim community. However, there is this.
Well, they may or they may not, but you'll concede this is not entirely random. It's not that the U.S. government or police departments are just like looking for some religious group to persecute, or is that what you're saying?
I am saying that, you know, the United States government has been in the business of doing that for quite a long time.
So why don't they do it to the Amish? Wait, hold on one second. Why don't they do it to the Amish, or why don't they do it to Hasidic Jews? I mean, they're a set-apart community, speak a different language, not assimilated, but I don't see a lot of terror attacks committed by those groups. Have you?
It's not profitable right now to be, you know, speaking against these other groups. Right now, it's very profitable to be speaking against Muslims because it's, you know, feeding into this wartime efforts. More cells.
Okay, but look, I mean, we can debate the details here, but I think it's important to acknowledge a baseline, and that is that there have been an awful lot of attacks where actual people died in the United States and in Europe, committed by people saying really clearly we're acting in the name of Islam. And other Muslims say, you don't act in my name and you're perverting our religion or whatever. But there's still people who have killed a lot of other people in the name of Islam. So it's not like some mass fantasy that law enforcement is acting out of. This is a real thing, and I don't understand why groups like yours won't acknowledge the reality of that, because it is there, it's true.
I don't understand why other groups won't acknowledge that violence isn't something that's exclusive to the Muslim community.
No one's
it's
saying
not
that.
Exclusive to Islam. It's not exclusive to, you know, my religion. And so
I think that's good, John. You and I should be able to go have a safe space where we can be outspoken against radical Islam or other things like that we don't care for, correct? Sure. People who identify as hippopotamuses, we can go out and scream bloody murder about them, correct?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah. Geez, I wonder why you're being surveilled, lady, because I believe, you know, people who are in the Islamic religion are the ones causing all the freaking terrorists going around the freaking world.
And it's not just this country.
No.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere. Once they get all of their people supplanted, they take people from the inside out. You know, you call me what you want, but this is reality. This is what they do, and if it doesn't stop, then, you know, you're going to be wearing a freaking burqa. That's all I can say.
We're out of time again.
One other thing. I believe this weekend is Father's Day, so
it is.
Happy Father's Day. It's not Happy Hippopotamus Day or Happy Non-Binary Day. It's Happy Father's Day.
Yeah, you would have to know what you are in order to.
That's right. The hippopotami will not be getting fed this weekend or something.
Oh, boy.
That's all I got,
That's
brother.
all you got. Okay. Remember, if you love your country, you love your freedom, thank a veteran.
Absolutely.
Thanks for tuning in.
God bless America.
We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.